everybody, we're going to do a little work on, what's it called? Course in Miracles. And I should really eat lunch, but I spent all day working on this stuff. And then I get like, I don't know. Oops. So today we're opening up to a page. I can take these out. I don't know. I guess I was yelling because I, blah, 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 blah. See how my mind gets all scrambled and stuff? But you know what? It is what it is, and I work through it. I just don't judge myself, you know? I don't know. I might actually, because the lighting here is not that good. Let's just do that. So let's read a little bit of this book. Opening up to lesson 95, I am one with self. I am one self united with my creator. This sounds like a good one. So this is, well, let's see. Oh wait, this is, hold on. Because there's parts in the book. Yeah, this is good. We'll do this. Okay, so this is lesson number 95. I am one self united with my creator. Today's idea accurately describes you as God created you. You are one within yourself and one within you're one with him. Yours is the unity of all creation. Your perfect unity makes change in you possible. You do not accept this and you fail to realize it must be so, only because you believe that you have changed yourself already. You see yourself as a ridiculous parody on God's creation. Weak, vicious, ugly, and sinful, miserable, and beset with pain. Such is your vision of yourself, a self divided into many warring parts, separate from God and tenuously held together by its erratic, capricious maker to which you pray. It does not hear your prayers, for it is deaf. It does not see the oneness in you, for it is blind. It does not understand you are the Son of God, for it is senseless and understands nothing. See, love yourself. We will attempt today to be aware of only what can hear and see and what makes perfect sense. We will again direct our exercises towards reaching your one self, which is united with its creator. In patience and in hope, we try again today. The use of this 5 minutes of every waking hour for practicing the idea for the day has special advantages at this stage of learning in which you are at present. It is difficult at this point not to allow your mind to wander if it undertakes extended attempts. That would be like bad thoughts about yourself. That's the thoughts that they're running on you. That's them. The blue. And other people. That's what they've been able to tap into, is that frequency for somehow, but I don't know how they do it. So I'm trying to tell you you're enough. And they're trying to stop me from telling you that you're enough. But I'm trying to tell the ones that are pieces of you know what, that they're pieces of you know what. However, they're the ones that are controlling all the thoughts. You have surely realized this by now. You have seen the extent of your lack of mental discipline, and that's what it takes. And of your need for mind training. It is necessary that you be aware of this, for it is indeed a hindrance to your advance. Frequent but shorter practice periods have other advantages for you at this time. In addition to recognizing your difficulties with sustained attention, you must also have noticed that unless you are reminded of your purpose frequently, you tend to forget about it for long periods of time. You often fail to remember the short applications of the idea for the day, and you have not yet formed the habit of using it as an automatic response to temptation. Structure then is necessary for you at this time. Plan to reach it. Regularity in terms of time is not the ideal requirement for the most beneficial form of practice in salvation. It is advantageous, however, for those whose motivation is inconsistent and who remain heavily defended against learning. We will therefore keep to the 5 minutes an hour practice periods for a while and urge you to omit as few as possible. Using the first 5 minutes of the hour will be particularly helpful since it imposes firmer structure. Do not, however, use your lapses from the schedule as an excuse not to return to it again as soon as you can. There may well be a temptation to regard the day as lost because you have already failed to do what is required. This should, however, merely be recognized as what it is, a refusal to let your mistakes be corrected, an unwillingness to try again. The Holy Spirit is not delayed in his teaching by your mistakes. He can be held back only by your unwillingness to let them go. Let us therefore be determined, particularly for the next week or so, and to be willing to forgive ourselves for our lapses in diligence and our failures to follow the instructions for practicing the day's idea. And this is also a recommitment to your word. So you're learning your word. This tolerance for weakness will enable us to overlook it rather than give it power to delay our learning. If we give it power to do this, we are regarding it as strength and are confusing strength with weakness. When you fail to comply with requirements of this course, you have merely made a mistake. This calls for correction and for nothing else. To allow a mistake to continue is to make additional mistakes based on the first and reinforcing it. It is this process that must be laid aside, for it is but another way in which you would defend illusions against the truth. To allow a mistake to continue, it is to make additional mistakes based on the first and reinforcing it. It is a process that must be laid aside, for it is but another way in which you would defend illusions against the truth. Let all of these errors go by recognizing them for what they are. They are attempts to keep you aware. You unaware, you are oneself, united with your Creator at one with every aspect of creation, and limitless in power and peace. This is the truth and nothing else is true. Today we will affirm this truth again and try to reach the place in you in which there is no doubt that only this is true. Begin the practice periods today with the assurance given to your mind with all the certainty that you can give. I am oneself, united with Creator, at one with every aspect of creation, and limitless in power and in peace. Then close your eyes and tell yourself again, slowly and thoughtfully, attempting to allow the meaning of words to sink into your mind, replacing false ideas. I am one self. Repeat this several times and then attempt to feel the meaning with the words, which the words convey. You are one self, united and secure in light and joy. You are God's Son, one self with one Creator and one goal, to bring awareness of this oneness to all minds, and true creation may extend the allness and the unity of God. You are one self, complete and healed and whole, with power to lift the veil of darkness from the world and let the light in you come through to teach the world the truth about itself. You are one self in perfect harmony with all there is and all that will be. You are one self, the Holy Son of God, united with your brothers in this self, united with your Father in his will. Feel this one self in you and let it shine away all your illusions and your doubts. This is yourself, the Son of God himself, sinless as it is Creator, with his strength within you and his love forever yours. You are one self, and it is given you to feel this self within you and to cast all your illusions out of the mind, out of the one mind, which is this self, the holy truth in you. Do not forget today we need your help, your little part bringing happiness to all the world, and heaven looks to you in confidence. And you will try today. Share then its surety, for it is yours. Be vigilant. Do not forget today. Throughout the day, do not forget your goal. Repeat today's idea as frequently as possible, and understand each time you do so, someone hears the voice of hope, the stirring of the truth within his mind, the gentle rustling of the wings of peace, your own acknowledgement you are one self. United with your Father is a call to all the world to be one with you. To everyone you meet today, be sure to have the promise of today's idea and tell him this: you are one self with me, united with our Creator in this self. I honor you because of what I am and what he is, who loves us both as one. Oh God, I love you. He's so sweet. Well, So I remember reading this and then loving him. Just loving him all the time, no matter what happened. It's like an MLM. I was going to say something. Oh yeah, so they can do what they want. Okay, so like, listen to this, y'all. They can really do what they want with frequency on subliminals and stuff. But if you have the power to be secure in who you are, no one can ever overpower God. However, it's been a long journey for us of being bombarded by nonsense from Hollywood, from corporate America and so forth, that has led to the demise of society with money-focused businesses that are now globally seen and known. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having the want and desire to work hard and then being compensated for your work. However, once again, we go back to the Napoleon Hill conversation, which is God's work, by the way. It's like, well, how can I show you this perspective? How can I show you this version? How can I, it's like breaking science down. And what did you say, Napoleon? Oh, you're speaking of service. So the whole purpose we're here is to have connection, create connection, and to be of service and to help each other. However, we're a selfish world. And it literally is demonstrated watching Gary Vaynerchuk and Mona Vand. It's like carbon copy, textbook, facts. Meaning they are against love. This is like definition of what against love looks like. Or what the definition is of against purposely hurting someone. And then utilizing it as empowerment. So if everybody was on the same page to devote themselves to creating ounces of happiness on a daily, even if you just got into downward facing dog for 2 minutes, your version of downward facing dog, whether it be in a wheelchair, against a wall, committing to your word that you said you wanted to be happy, and in that 2 minutes you created happiness. Meaning that's the work. And you could combat and silence out the nasty negative talk. However, I'm doing it by myself at this time. I mean, this book is a new Bible, yo. This book is going to teach you some stuff. And it's going to be a bumpy ride along the way, but you're going to love it. This book was really not like, will you hold still? It's going to be like that. I'm supposed to be happy. Stop it. Literally, it looks like that. It's the work. However, I recognize that yelling at her was an inappropriate behavior. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm sorry I yelled at you. She showed me her paw, so that means a handshake. That's a demon entering the space also. Because right now I'm sitting in a room by myself, physically. However, you all are around people all day long. And there's a lot of gnarly behavior going on. You see how challenging it is? Okay. So that's that. I got a ting on my number 14. My teeth are killing me. Most of you need to go see your dentist. You need to go get a dental appointment and start planning on how you're going to get some dental work done. Not only, it's like all directions. You got it from coming from television, music, politics, social media influencers, demons that are unseen, people from the other side, bacteria, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to learn how to block them out, self-awareness, like in my mind right now, what I'm doing to Van is I'm taking a knife and I'm shoving it in her eyeball. And I'm twisting it around. Because that's a demon. That is the most evil thing that exists. And there's lots of them out there. Because the next breath she'll run over to Gary and be all sweet and kind. And then punch me in the stomach. And then I'm going to take a bat. I'm going to bang it into her gut. Multiple times. While Gary sits over there and smiles in her face and acts as if this isn't real. You get how my frustration operates. And then she stands on the podium on the stage as if she's done something except for stand there with her hand out, traveling the globe. And then Gary now tells me to stop. And then now he tells me that it's 6, meaning 666, devil. However, he's the one that initiated it. And then now he shows me the white flag as an I give up, and then he wants to take me to dinner. However, there never is a phone call. You see the circus? You see the circuit? Do you see the circus? And then he'll say, we're done, it's over. And then guess what happens? She shows back up on the internet to destroy the planet, and nobody says anything. And then he says he's on the secret team. As I once again create valuable content and create expansion in humanity, while she collects a paycheck and I have no money in my accounts. No money, y'all. $0 is what I've been paid for by Gary Vaynerchuk. However, I've done all the work. You get that, right? That I am a SLAVE. Then he shows me a prince, like he's a frog prince. And then has the expectation for me to be loving and caring to him. And then he tries to show me my sister. And then they say it's a whale. Yeah, well, we're waiting. And then he's in my mind going, please listen to me. You won. Oh, really? Because we're talking in this place of everything is empty and meaningless. Great. Right? But you also want to take a look at what's so. Meaning the person that you are in front of is literally telling you to your face, I am with Monavand. He says, I am with Monavand, he says. I'm putting her on my 137 page in the sweatshirt that says grateful. And that's what I'm dealing with in my personal life that you seem to be so, what's the word? Unsupportive of, honestly, because this is like a total society blasphemy. So it's not only happening to me, but it's happening to you too, is what I'm trying to tell you. That these corporate fools are doing this to us, and that is the truth. With intention behind it to hurt us. Meanwhile, Vandy Fool gets 15,000 views on a video that tells you about how she likes to eat vegetables. I mean, this is some crazy stuff. This is not humanity. This is the end of humanity is what we're experiencing here. This is not television. This is not television, fools. This is real life here. My name is Cassandra. I channel God. I am Jesus this lifetime. I have died and come back to life. I lied on my couch for months, pissing on it because they said if I pissed, I would create rivers. And I thought if I could create rivers in Africa, then elephants and giraffes wouldn't die of dehydration. I was told that if I lied still and allowed the Democratic Party to saw off my arms, which I felt, that you all would be free from your sins. And so I did it. And so instead, what Gary Vaynerchuk did, instead of reaching out to me and discussing things with me, he decided to utilize my back to grow his company. And then to kiss a woman where he knew I was going to be at and attend as if I was a joke. And then still promotes blueberries. So I would like some answers there, Gary Vaynerchuk. However, we both know that I won't be getting any because that's how you operate. As you claim empathy, which this isn't a prime example of what empathy does not look like, because we've now been going at it now for 5 years. He's been letting me suffer for 5 years. He's been letting me suffer and have no money or financial assistance for 5 years, to the point where I've spent my money to fly out to VCon, to assist VCon community, to fly to New York City with no money that I had. I had no money, but I did it anyway, where he then is on a romantic vacation in France with a woman who is the devil herself, where he kisses all over her. And then he posts it all over the fucking internet. This is not television. This is my life. And I understand what empty and meaningless is. I understand what so means. You are the ones who do not understand that. You are the ones who will literally cheer for the devil, which is what we saw at the People's Choice Awards. And don't you dare sit there and tell me protection. The only protection I need is protection from you, Gary Vaynerchuk. You are one with me, God, united with our Creator in His self. I honor you because of what I am and what He is, who loves us both as one. That's what they capitalize off of. This book is for a sane human being, not Gary Vaynerchuk. Do you hear me, fool? What you have done is evil. What you all have done is evil. Now you run around and go take a look around you for the fucking truth.